Hello and welcome back to Total Warhammer 3. We're going to be getting long victory this video one way or another. Last you left off, it was around turn 70, I think. We've fixed our logistics since then. I've learned some things as well. For one, if you're having attrition nightmares and they keep bringing multiple stacks at you and the attrition's making it impossible, you can just have everyone in camp and march through their land in a stack of armies and in camp. Is it an efficient use of your time? No. Does it work? Yes. Yes, it does. Although you should probably actually move them into range of the siege, because I'm only getting one of these reinforcements right now, and there is quite a lot here. And now we're up to close victory with low casualties, and I'm going to guess nothing actually dying, seems like it. So that'll be Sigvald finally taken out, the Eastern Front finally sorted, and with absolutely massive amounts of units gathered over here. Down on the south side, I've been doing the same thing by marching in camp and then breaking in camp at the last second to get in. And this is far from wiping out a faction, but it is getting my territory back, although I have clicked this too early. And as you can see, anyone who's walking when you click that stops moving, so let's not actually let them get into range. Now we can take the auto-resolve with almost no losses. It's basically my territory. I've already sacked it once this campaign. I'm good not doing it again. And as you can see, I've had two shield maidens march all the way up here. Should they have joined that fight for experience? Probably. But they didn't. Alistair, however, got incredibly lucky when this Immortal handmaiden from Illyrial's army respawned, because you don't re-recruit them, they just respawn. She just respawned next to Alistair, which made his problem sort of sort itself out. We're not even going to stance none and just move forward on both of these folks, because it looks like we're sort of not in the safest spot here. And this army, I'm going to merge all of this and hope it gives you one slot free. It doesn't, but it may as well have, since this guy's at 10. And both of these armies will be taking one handmaiden to help out with attrition. Nope, not you. I meant to click the other guy. And now they both have their handmaidens, they both have better regeneration, they'll be better equipped to go through this. Meanwhile, Illyrial is back, and she has a Sisters of Avalorn Doomstack. If you look at the numbers on Sisters of Avalorn, like, sure, melee-wise and armor-wise, they're vastly better than archers. They're way better in a close fight. But if you look at their range and missile strength compared to an archer, like, the range is the same, the ammunition's a bit higher, the missile strength's a bit higher, it's nothing crazy. And it's like, well, what does Bows of Avalorn actually entail? And you come over here, it's like, you know, they do stuff. Mystical blue fire. They armor pierce, they deal magic damage now, you know? Having used these in a couple of pirate fights now, they're nuts. These are so much stronger than Bows of Avalorn would ever make you think. Previously, I was doing an experiment to see if this will shorten the global recruitment time. And since then, I've looked it up and I found out that yes, it will, but not by the amount I'm hoping for. The hero capacity for handmaidens is still appreciated. However, the way it works is for global recruitments. If I were to come over here and hop into global, all right, you're already unable to do that. Let's go here at the Shrine of Cain where Tyrion is. That might be related. Oh, he's in March, so I can't show it on him either. Let's recruit a lord down here in the capital, see if we can't find anyone we're saving for a future campaign. I'm gonna be honest, a life mage with access to Uranon's Thunderbolt actually seems pretty good, right? Because that's fixing the problem of life mages not actually being good offensively. I still don't think it's actually good. Like, you'll just have a different person for doing offensive spells or a different unit composition in the first place. And I don't really like princes or princesses. I've trained them off screen on alternate save lines, and they just don't really seem to do anything I care about. I'd much rather have an archmage, since I don't have the ability, or at least for the longest time, didn't have the ability to build mages. Anyway, not having anyone who's good, I'll just pick up an administrator, and over here I'm gonna start recruiting Sisters of Avalorn. And the way it works is, I think that because of Illyrial, they were originally 2-turn recruitment units, and global recruitment doubles the time to 4. Why does this man have 3? I don't know, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure on how global recruitment times work. But the way it works is for every 10 copies of a building that gives you something, it goes down by 1. Illyrial's not affecting this. It's the global recruitment -1 ability that Tyrion has. Unless that's for Tyrion only? Oh god. It looks to me like sense of urgency applies to everyone, and it's also just kind of nuts. So sense of urgency is why all of this has gone down, but if I didn't have sense of urgency, spearmen and archers would still be down to 1 turn because I have way more of the buildings that recruit them. But I would need to make 10 level 4, what are they called, groves?
Magic in purest form.
Yeah, I would need to make 10 level 4 blessed groves. I don't even have 10 level 4 cities, so that's a complete non-starter. That's not really a thing I can do. It will let me recruit them like in 2 settlements simultaneously, and that seems like it might still be worth doing, but it doesn't seem all that good, all told. Anyway, you might know why Tyrion's at the site of Cain. It's because we're picking up the Sword of Cain on Tyrion, bringing him up to 45 ward save and even more of a menace than he already is. Speaking of though, I think I don't want Tyrion on a mount at all, because being on a mount does make him more likely to get hit in melee combat. He's a bigger target, more people can hit him at once, arrows are more likely to hit him. Being on the ground makes him better as a one-man doomstack, as unintuitive as that is. And over here, you can see we have some dragons all the way on the western edge coming down to the sea lane to go kill the one elf on the eastern coast. So one of the funnier things that's happened, I should have mentioned this when I started the video, is Arcan the Black likes me now. I'm not quite sure why this is. He doesn't particularly dislike elves. And that's weird because he has an aversion and a prejudice against elves, but the aversion's just not that bad. Most people have it much higher. And he's a big fan of the fact that, like, I'm a strategic threat. I'm not sure why. In addition, he likes that I made a trade deal with him. And if you notice my money being a little bit nuts, it's because I made trade deals with quite a few people. The reason for that is I got the technology that allows me to see all the coastlines in the world, which meant I was able to make an absolute shitload of trade deals with people who didn't hate me, because I finally met people who weren't dark elves and demons. Just how good is that economy I was talking about? We're making almost 40,000 a turn. Now for Tyrion, I'm going to be coming down to change out his army. The Sword of Cain's not enough. We also want to switch it out just for nothing but Sisters of Avalorn, which we're now able to recruit in multiple territories, although apparently I am in the wrong one. Oh, I'm in March, and for some reason I'm locked into March now. I'm not entirely sure why I'm locked into March. I barely moved. I've had this happen a few times. I'm going to save and load and see if that fixes it. I'm not quite sure what's causing this. It's definitely a glitch, though. Yeah, no, she's still stuck in March. That's cool, I guess. I'll just recruit a lord and have them do it and waste a few hundred gold. Oh, apparently that got me something. Cool. They're really just here to pick up some Sisters of Avalorn. It's nothing impressive. That puts us at a total of 16. We actually need one more than that, unfortunately. And it's not like we can global them, because, you know, global recruitment doesn't work, really, for these units. That's fine. We needed to waste time for this noble to catch up so that he can be in the army. We have a prudent noble to be the regenerator and to increase ammo capacity for the Avalorn stack we're giving to Tyrion. Man, that is a lot of armies, isn't it? Dear Lord. We might need all of our armies to meet up going down. But first, I guess we need to get through Blood Mountain to go down, right?
High Elven Archmage.
Stance and camp for sure. Start crawling forward. And like, is it pretty? No, but it means we're never getting ambushed and we're not dying to attrition. So what are my alternatives, really? As much as I hate to do it, I might need to merge these guys just to speed it up. Just because they're missing so much power right now. Why do I have an eagle? How did this happen? I'm sure there's a reason for it, but speaking of how did this happen and weird unit shenanigans.
High Elven Archmage.
Tzeentch did a thing, and now I have 3 spawns of Tzeentch in Jadress's army. Don't worry about it, it's fine. I needed infantry anyway, probably. Gotta love losing all of your movement because you couldn't quite get in the water last turn. Super cool. Gotta be honest, this just massive stack of Chaos Dwarfs does have me a little bit shook. Also, the fact they have gold chevrons is not reassuring. Apparently the Chaos Dwarfs has been tearing it up. I assume you're number 2 in the world, right? You've gotta be. He's number 3, yeah. Astrogoth Ironhand's looking like somebody in the top 5 for sure. I actually am more than happy to take this peace treaty with these garbage idiots. And the reason for that is because it means I don't have to fight them. I can go straight for the dwarves. I'll trespass to their land. They can be mad about it. That doesn't matter. I can actually get military access here at no cost to myself. So I'll do that as well, so they aren't even mad about it. Not that it's gonna help me in any way, but still. Like, coming down with Tyrion, trying to sort out this army mess. Tyrion's gonna lose all the people he's currently got. And he's gonna pick up all these Sisters of Avalorn. Then down here, we're gonna swap again, give him all of the siege weaponry and Sisters of Avalorn again. He's got 1 slot left, and wouldn't you know it, we have a hero coming. So he sent Feldragar over, and that is not an experienced Doomstack, but the basis of a Doomstack, I believe. Plus 10% ammo, functional mage, Tyrion with the Sword of Cain, 2 siege equipment so that we can attack settlements, and then a shitload of Sisters of Avalorn. Although, since we can already attack settlements with Tyrion, I suspect that I'm doing this wrong, and these should probably be the Sisters of Avalorn, right? Because, like, I struggle with walls, but at the same time, the Eagle Claw bolt throwers don't really fix that. And the amount of power represented, I'm going to assume that this is right.
Following your orders.
Like, how could it not be? Tyrion will just go solo the inside of the city on his own. He doesn't need help. We no longer have need of this second lord. And then the question is it worth salvaging this army? And it's probably worth, right? It's hard to imagine it's not. So we'll go into encamp, take a teeny tiny step forward, and just pick up 2 Sisters of Avalorn because they're available. And then as much global recruitment as we can. We need these just to function as an army. We'll take the rest in Lothern Sea Guards. And that's another full stack. Even if it's not an optimal full stack, it's just worth having. Armies to throw at things tend to solve problems. Down here, we're well on our way towards the sea lanes. We're almost there. Meanwhile, I think all of our armies are going to converge on the Chaos Dwarves. And I'm going to hope Auto-Resolve can manage it, because I don't know that I'm looking forward to fighting like a 5v3 battle with hundreds of units on both sides. That's the border, so we'll stop short of it. I think I stopped on it here, but oh well, it's fine, probably. Yeah, this is the 3rd time we've had to do something like this on Ilarial. I'm sure a lot of people already know what this looks like, but I just want to show it off on video. The plan's relatively simple. It's called Get Line of Sight with Ilarial so that we can just waste them with the Sisters of Avalorn. And there's really not a whole lot complicated going on here, because no matter how strong you thought the Sisters of Avalorn were, if you haven't seen them before, you weren't expecting this. It's just, it's a lot of damage. Like an absolutely unreasonable amount of damage. Oh, that's not the one I thought it was. Alt 3 is the one that heals. But yeah, they deal just kind of a fucking lot of damage. I was considering attacking the giant hermit crab to protect them, but they didn't need my help. So obviously stats aren't everything. The trait that says Bows of Avalorn that's really vague, it kills them. That's what it does. It's very effective. Apparently Alistair alone is a close defeat. Interesting. I thought this would be closer than it apparently is.
High Elven Archmage.
Because certainly once we move 5 more people in, it won't still be close, right?
To war.
I can't quite get everyone involved because of the zone of control of the dwarves, but I can get 3 of the 4 armies to help. Which is apparently enough to win with only medium casualties. Am I even losing units? I'm losing a unit of Zeech. Oh no. Yeah, we can auto-resolve that. They were ranked 3 before I did this. I'm going to sack and occupy because I don't respect you. Alright, so one of them managed to escape by the look of it. Don't enjoy that. Can you put them down? Oh, you get to retreat twice in the same turn. That's cool. Don't think that's a mechanic normally. They're now rank 2. I assume it hasn't updated. And Ilarial's gonna land on the other shores and start going along the north side. And you might say, Nick, why are you doing this? What's the point in taking all this land? They're not your objective. Your objective is this guy over here. To which I'll reply, do you remember Grombrindle in the corner? Do you remember Belagor in the top right of Ulthuan? Every single time I say it's not my problem, we're going to just bypass it, it immediately becomes my problem. So no, the Chaos Dwarves are in the way, that means they're my enemy. I'm gonna pick up an Incendiary Archmage of Death up here just to have another unit get saved.
Infused by Hoet's wisdom.
I know you can left click, but I just always accidentally do the other one, pop in the town, go and recruit, and pick up everything I can as fast as I can to try to build an army up here. Reason being, Malice Darkblade's on his Velociraptor over here, and he can't reach us this turn, but there's a very good chance he's coming to us, so having an army moving this way to try to defend is probably relevant, since everyone came down to fight the Chaos Dwarf stacks. I'm gonna cut left a little bit and see if I can't use zone of control to pin him in. I can still slip out. Now, Tyrion has a completely full stack. We're going to march and start working out of here. We can get into the water this turn, which will save us a lot of time next turn. We can pick up some pirates on our way to something. Oh well, this one's done too. Yeah, I forgot about this stack. It's gonna run forward, it's just Tyrion's support, but that's still probably relevant. We're finally picking up Elven Healing on Alistair, which might be an important ability that I've been ignoring.
Lord of Ulthuan.
Now, considering I was talking up the Sisters of Avalorn, it seems only appropriate to decide and gets a similar pirate fight with a very experienced stack of Shadow Walkers, and we see if it goes just as one-sided. They admittedly have like +6 to everything due to their experience going to the Sisters of Avalor, and I'm expecting them to stomp, but I should still probably at least like pretend there's a comparison. I imagine this goes just like very, very one-sidedly. It's not as explosive, is it? Like, it's fine. We're doing good damage. But it's nowhere near the nonsense the other one is. Also, this crab is not taking damage. Just full disclosure, the crab does not give a fuck. We're gonna need to send some heroes to go deal with him. The Sisters of Avalor just rip through the crab instantly. The Rotting Leviathan does not care about normal boats. The rest of this absolutely shredded. Like, still really, really good, but nowhere near enough to get through the crab. Thankfully, we have a bunch of like experienced flying units to just rip the crab to pieces, but it's not as impressive, right? Ooh, what the fuck hit you? That was very violent when it happens. Still, like, minimal loss is pretty smooth, but even with all the experience advantage, notably worse than Sisters of Avalorn.
By sea.
And we can finally make it to the sea lane and get over to the other side and start dealing with the remaining Dark Elf faction. I'm hoping Poseidon and Kyriella can do it together. Set sail, boys.
High Elven Archmage.
I'm not entirely convinced they will be able to do it. I've got no idea how strong the guy is. And this is, I suppose, my fault, because I should have checked before even starting this invasion, right? Like, I can see them. I know they're here. I could have clicked on them and checked their relative strength. How good are you? Rank 41. They have it. They'll be fine. It's good. We managed an underway interception against these guys that ran off, I guess. We lose the Eagle. That's fine. I was planning on replacing it with a unit of renown. It was complete trash anyway. Thanks for the troops, boys. I imagine underway intercept was pretty likely considering there were 5 armies next to him. 3 factions died that turn. What the hell? Oh shit, journey complete in 1 turn because we're high elves. I forgot that we did it slightly faster than normal factions. So where do we pop out exactly?
Magic in purest form.
Hey, which one of these is your capital?
Everything from you.
Up here? Okay. Yeah, speaking of taking everything, I'm on board with the general sense of plan you have.
Bring Azurians,
Definitely start with their capital and work our way down, right? No reason to do it any other way. Oh no, a bow I have to fight with Tyrion and his stack of Avalorn sisters? What will I do? I guess I'll just drop the Sword of Cain immediately. I don't see a reason to hold off on it. But yeah, the main thing here is just letting all my archers get experience. They can shoot Tyrion, it won't do anything. Yeah, it's just sad watching the pirate fights against 3 or 4 units. With, like, honestly, Tyrion could probably have soloed the whole thing. I'm just trying to avoid casualties and get experience on units that need it. So we see Malice Darkblade is in range, the Silver Tower of Sorcerers, and there's no way we're ever holding it. So we obviously just walk out and camp and continue to recruit like nothing is wrong.
Even archmages sleep.
I don't think this local recruitment even goes through, but that's fine. Now, considering they seem to have nothing left over here, let's take a quick look. What's your strength rank now? 23. Yeah, get the fuck out of my top 5. We have to stay in stance and camp. Unfortunately, there's no way around that. Since this unit's got all the messed up archers, I'm gonna send that one right. Since this army's trash and severely damaged, I'm gonna send it right. You, neither of you have anyone to help regenerate, do you?
I second this.
Well, evidently I needed to send up more handmaidens, because I'm still short up here. Hey, Palace and Princess, what are the odds I can get you recruiting nobles quickly? It grows next turn, so honestly, not that bad. I can just build the thing to build nobles up here relatively soon, keep them on in camp, slowly march them through dwarf lands, while we send everyone else up to deal with Malice Darkblade. So we've got all of this up here. He might go for the Silver Tower of Sorcerers, but honestly, he should fall back to avoid getting trapped there. And Ilariel continues making her way forward. She's gonna start sweeping up the coast very soon. And I don't know why I'm covering this invasion in such detail. I'll get back with you when I'm killing the people who matter, like Malice Darkblade. Oh, there's the tiniest mountain range in the world preventing me from getting to Malice. Deeply frustrating. You can still take back the settlement, though. I was not expecting Ilariel to be fast enough to make it from here all the way to the next settlement through the snowy tundra, but here we are. Good job. All that time at sea's done something for her. I don't think I need to do anything here. It's like every time we show up, it's like, I don't imagine the garrison stands much of a chance. There's an imminent rebellion in the Chaos Dwarf territory, which, you know, considering how I've been behaving, that makes sense, but I'm not too worried about it. So the rebellion's just like a couple of Sinchian demons over here. Yeah, it's... No, that's not good enough. Do better. Do better, demons. Army replenished by 33%? Why is it so good? I'll take that one. Why was the number so high?
High mage.
Anyway, we're gonna do the encamp walk thing to avoid attrition.
True
Yeah, we just can't quite make it to the Twisted Towers this turn. But that's fine, we'll do it next turn. This army will get into the city to heal itself up. Or prevent itself from taking damage, I guess, would be more accurate. Where'd Malice Darkblade get to? He's running.
Ready yourself.
We should be able to kill him by using multiple armies. I don't think he'll run from this one. He should be favored to win pretty seriously.
Another time, villain.
But what we can do is we can bring down the second stack, and then the two of these I think is enough to beat Malice, right? But he might just run away and move further into my territory. That's the issue. Decisive victory, I'll take it. I just need him to be fully dead and not running around in my territory. They both sort of suck. Gonna take ransom captives. I think I have so much regeneration in Alistair's army now that I can afford to march, take the attrition, and then encamp on the second step. I'm not certain that's true, but it seems true. Also, he has a very big, scary dragon these days. I just personally dislike seeing these pirates walking around for a very, very long time. Let's go make some bad decisions. Pyrrhic victory, huh? I don't think that's right. I think I forgot to put on like a slightly better ward save trinket and a healing potion for Tyrion, so we could be doing better than this, but I'm sure this is gonna be good enough. Start this by running forward on everyone a bit, especially on Tyrion and the mage. The mage and Tyrion are going to A, be distracting them, but B, they're gonna be handling the cannons, because somebody needs to. I may as well have the noble running forward. Yeah, the chariot's just big and easy to hit, unfortunately. Hey, keep running forward. We're not actually in range yet. Alright, where's the cannon in all this? I see several giant crabs and Necrofex Colossus. There's the cannons. Urnon's Thunderbolt on one of them is the first thing to do. Then Wind Blast across both of them. I'm having to get in distressingly close to do this, but I'm sure it'll be fine, right? Oh no, she's gonna fucking die because she's trying to run away from this in the worst possible way.
Immediately.
Yeah, we had to turn around and go a different route there. Which one of these is Chain Lightning? Drop that on them. Tyrion, Sword of Cain. Same group. They're the only thing that matters, really. And you can also get back. They should be able to bring that down in no time. I'm just not worried about this at all because we have armor piercing and it's just a single entity. And Tyrion just gonna come straight through and get the Garronades. It actually got to us, which is fairly impressive. I mean, it died immediately, but it still did get to them.
Yes. Doing my duty. Making my
There we go.
My power is yours. Moving out.
Moving out.
And Tyrion's just completely fine in the thick of it over here. They're still working carrot? Yes. There's still one group of working cannons that's getting involved in that to stop them. All of our wounds are from the cannons, basically. Nothing else mattered. It's deeply frustrating. But this pirate's been walking around being an absolute menace and making it so it was unsafe for me to, like, use force march on small armies for the longest time. I'm glad to be done with them. Oh, there's another. Oh, the Necrofex Colossus. Yeah, that's fair. They're already off the artillery. There's no reason to continue fighting. Deadly Onslaught seems appropriate.
Ready. Awaiting orders.
We need to move up a little bit, although over here we're engaged in a melee with them, but that's really fine, to be honest. Like, they're all right in melee, but they're not good. They're just able to survive while the rest of them shoot into the melee. How's Tyrion doing? He's fine. He's no longer distracting the Necrofex Colossus, though, and that's not fine. So what I've learned is late game pirates are not worth killing unless they're being like forced to be something you deal with by the AI.
Cooling the winds.
Because this fight was actually like moderately fucking tough. Drop Chain Lightning in the middle of that. And Comet of Cassandra on top of this pile of shit that's fighting Tyrion.
Flying abroad! Forward!
Urdon's Thunderbolt, I guess, no reason not to. But I think we're at the point where it's like, this is how I thought the fight would go initially. It just took a while to get there. Make sure the Necrofexilos is still fighting Tyrion in the back. Like, it absolutely rips through them when it's not just like a swarm of huge guys that are a little bit too fast and a little bit too numerous. I don't think I need to send anyone else in. I think he's just a little bit fucked. We're not even all shooting him. But did Tyrion kill the Necrofex? That's neat. So like, yeah, that is unnecessary casualties, but Tyrion's far away from all the wars anyway. I feel like getting experience on these Sisters of Avalorn isn't bad. I feel like I need to get rid of that eventually. And I'm hoping that I can just regenerate most of it by killing them and getting replenishment from fighting them. I wasn't expecting to take this much damage on any of my units though, so this is obviously not as good as I thought it would be. Necrofex Colossus and the two groups of cannons just did way more damage than I was expecting, and I should have been expecting worse. I probably could have done that better, seeing how little damage Tyrion took, by just running Tyrion in alone until the cannons were dropped. He would have been fine. Yeah, that's 17% replenishment, that's a big chunk. If we hadn't done so badly on the fight against them, would have been fine. Let's see if we can't get anything helpful from this. Well, go ahead and shoot them. This is actually sort of like getting regeneration. So I meant what I said last time. This time we're sending in Tyrion alone. Take this, drop it on the cannon. Like, I understand it deals tremendously more damage if I don't drop it on the cannon, but I don't need to deal damage with it is the thing. I need to make them stop shooting my archers. That's all. Cool, I'm pretty sure we just like absolutely wrecked the Lord as well. It's not a very close fight. Yeah, it isn't. Where's the rest of their army? Oh, it tried to run forward. Cool. The archers can come help now. Like, Tyrion's fine over here. Yeah, he's taking damage, but he's also dealing thousands upon thousands of damage to the enemy. Wipe out the Lord, the archers can handle everything else. There's no reason to take more damage on Tyrion here. I can just start walking around. It's just sort of fucking hilarious. Good fight, pirates. Another 12% recovered. Sisters of Avalorn looking a lot better than they were at the end of that first fight. So, question, is the Sword of Cain still thirsting? You'd think it would be sated after all that murder, but okay. But yeah, we have the Van Braces of Defense, which are tremendously better than the Talisman of Endurance. You can go Talisman of Preservation for 16% ward save, or give up 1% ward save for 8 armor, 8 melee defense. That seems like almost indistinguishable, but I think the Defense Van Braces are better, I'm not really sure. And it's finally the declare war against the Eastern Dark Elves. Lokir Fellheart, it's time for you to go down. Oh, we can make some more money though. The War Host of Zara in the Western Provinces don't like you. Yeah, that's a free $3,000 right there. And now we launch the attack. Easiest auto-resolve of my life.
The might of Safari.
Slack and occupy. Now, question. Obviously, I'm repairing all of this. Can I recruit a lord here the turn I conquer it? I can. Going to immediately just recruit a lord here and start picking up more archers. I know I'm gonna need more armies in this region.
High Elven Archmage.
Same thing over here. Drop the stance none. Start ripping their cities apart. And again, auto resolve. This will be the same province. We can't get another one going. Oh, that's pretty shit. Honestly, I'll just occupy. Oh wait, is that that's the whole province? Crazy. Might have more work than I thought I did then, or this could be part of their territory. Not sure which. Also, I see the walls have fallen. Good job, Cathay. She is very fast. I am appalled that she can get that far.
We shall march.
Oh, even further on march, actually. She's so mobile that rather than taking the attrition, since it's gonna be 2 turns no matter what, right? I just then can't walk forward and get there next turn, yeah? Why would I take attrition when I can just get there next turn without taking attrition? Fair enough. As you can see, since the last clip, some things have changed. The past like 3 hours of footage or so, it turns out my audio has not been getting picked up. There was a power flash, I restarted my computer. Well, my computer was restarted for me, I guess. And when it turned back on, even though all the audio devices were still set the same way, it just wasn't picking up my mic in OBS. Like, I changed the settings from what it said to something else and back, and now it works. And that's deeply frustrating. I could do post-commentary, but realistically, I'd be doing post-commentary of Steam rules. I'd be doing post-commentary of rolling through the dwarves, rolling through Malekith, of fighting the dwarves in a real battle here, being like, oh, wow, that's actually terrible, because the Chaos Dwarves are a really strong late games army. That was like the one fight that was worth really talking about in like 3 hours of gameplay, where instead of like actually continuing to try to siege this, I just gave them back the monolith of flesh and sued for peace. Over here in the east, I'd show you all the settlements I've conquered, but you'll notice that the dwarves have taken them from me here as well. The Chaos Dwarves have just been a bit of a problem in the late campaign, but I wasn't concerned at all with holding this. Instead, what I've been concerned with is consolidating all of my forces over here as best I can. And you'll notice that there's like a much higher density of heroes. Almost all of these have some hero. The ones that don't are just crash armies there to show up and support real armies.
Radiant.
And on the whole, it was very much a smooth steamroller towards the end of this. And I've been wanting to see what exactly it entailed to have an in-game crisis. And we got Vampire Crisis, which is, you know, doom stacks of vampires, and that makes sense. The thing is, our objective isn't to kill this group of really tough vampires. If we were just like a stack of 4 and you had to wipe them out in any territory they grabbed, that would be cool. And if it were a bigger stack, that would be cool. But the issue is that I also have to go kill the Caravan of Blue Roses over here, which is very similar in strength, and the Barrow Legion, and Sylvania, and the Drakenhof Conclave. And I'm not saying these wouldn't be hard wars. I'm just saying I don't want to go across the entire world fighting for like 2 or 3 more hours. It just doesn't sound fun. Now that I know what it is, I'm just like, oh, why would I want that? Because yeah, sure, it gives you a challenge in the late game, but like, I don't want to paint the whole map one color, and it wants me to go across the entire map fighting what I assume would be the strongest factions in the world, but I can't actually do diplomacy with them to check. I guess I can check and see if I'm still number 1. I imagine I am by a large margin, yeah. But as you can see by the sheer fucking number of ships that I have, it's not actually going to be a tough war. The only tough part of this war would be the logistics. And you'll notice that also all of these armies have tremendously higher winds of magic than they normally would, because they've been in channeling stance for a decent chunk of time. I literally can't even get them all across the sea here. And you can see that up here in the north as well, I have a couple of terrible stacks that I've recently recruited here. Just because, you know, Chaos Ways to the east probably need armies here to keep it safe. Unlike the territories in Cathay, this actually felt worth guarding. But coming back to the Vampire Doom stacks, I just, like, have you heard of the High Elven Doom stacks? I know they've got higher unit quality than me, but I feel like I'm just gonna cruise around the world, put them all in their place, and it's just be like 2 hours of auto-resolving. And maybe on like really high battle difficulty, the unit quality is like out of control, and you need to have built better unit or better army compositions than what I have. But here I just look at this and think, oh wow, they're fucked. Yeah, even like them attacking me during their turn is still a loss. That's an auto-resolve that kills 4 stacks. I think I just wiped them out completely. I'll take army replenishment, by the way. It said it killed 4 stacks. They all appear to be kind of there still. This is a decisive victory on this army. We're gonna take replenishment every time, but yeah, that's like exactly. Wait, who was that? What was that fight about? Anyway, a lot of people got killed immediately. Oh, the Wild Hunt as well. I think the Wild Hunt beginning is not an endgame event. I think that's just the mechanic he has. It just happened to time out like it was one. But like, yeah, this is, it's not close. Tyrion can just come down here and mop up what's left. Apparently they managed to capture a city during that, but just like, I could manually resolve it and get better results probably, but I don't feel like I need to. I feel like Tyrion just has all of this handled on his own. Yeah, that's about right. Sack and occupy so that I get more regeneration. They're dead, and that's 1/5 of the endgame crisis. Now theoretically I could walk around the rest of the world and come knock down the Barrow Legion and all the rest of them. It just takes so long to go from place to place to place. It's not a question of can I, it's a question of why would I? And I'm sure there's an achievement for this that I'm not going to get today, but I don't want to deal with this. I like having a challenge, and when the challenge is staying awake, it's time for the next campaign. So I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. I haven't yet decided if I'm playing vampire accounts in general, or if I'm going to be playing specifically to unlock Boris Urson, which would mean a shorter Kislev campaign. Regardless of what comes next, I hope you enjoyed this first series in spite of its production hiccups right at the end of it. I've been enjoying the game a lot, even though the end game, especially on lower difficulties, is a bit of... It's not as bad as the previous Total Wars, right? I actually enjoyed getting to turn 120. I really can't say that for any older Total Wars. Like vanilla Rome Total War, by turn 40, I want to start a new campaign at the absolute latest. And I'm sure as I play more of this and get better, the amount of time I'm willing to play a campaign is going to get shorter and shorter. But honestly, getting to turn 120 was not unpleasant or tedious for me at all. This, however, steamrolling through all of this with my consolidated armies, that would suck, because these armies were previously like 4 of them were in Cathay, and 8 of them were in the Chaos Waste, but that meant like 2 here and 4 there and 2 here, and they were scattered all over the place. And now there's just like literally a big Doomstack block. It's like, sure, this army specifically isn't very good, but I've got 6 of them. And then Tyrion's army is actually just nuts. If I'd had time to get a little bit more experience on him, this would be all at 7 experience. They'd be getting that red line perk. It's just, I've got so much going for me that even the in-game stuff here isn't threatening. And I think that means that either I need to be playing on higher difficulties, which is already definitely true, or I need to have the in-game crisis happening earlier, or that in-game crisis is a bad mechanic, but I'm not going to judge anything based off of being this prepared for it. So maybe next campaign, we'll see in-game crisis actually doing something. I think part of it might also be that High Elves have a bad win condition for a long victory. Like, getting up here to kill Malice, that's a way longer thing to do when the Chaos Dwarves and the Warriors of Chaos have been added to the game, and there's just like a bunch of super powerful factions between you and Malice, and going across the fucking world to Cathay to deal with Felhard over here, that's not quick either. If I had triggered the in-game crisis like 20 turns ago, because it didn't take an extra 20 turns to finish for no reason, then I think that would also have made it a lot scarier. It might just be that the High Elves have a particularly slow, long victory condition. I've got no idea. But I've really enjoyed this campaign. To like the 10% of you that showed up for episode 1 and made it all the way to the end of episode whatever this is, 14, I think. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate the support. Thank you to my one Patreon supporter, by the way, Jeffrey B. Who knows, maybe there's more of you by now, but there never is. Breaks my heart every time. And I imagine if you're still around for the outro at this point, then I'll be seeing you tomorrow for whichever campaign comes next.